Welcome to the Phantom Zone.
I try to join the X-Men, but I think they're maybe racist. Just because I'm human, they don't want my help. It seems it doesn't really matter if your superpowers firing through the belt. I tried to join the Justice League, but Batman was a douche to me. And Black Canary wouldn't tell me hi. And Plastic Man just threw a middle finger that was 30 stories high. I got a message from the great Avengers. They offered me a membership.
Welcome to And Now Comics. We have a full cast today, so we got double Johns, Ryan, and Connor joining me, Lou. Not a whole lot to talk about. Everything is canceled and dead.
Comic stores are closing. Movie
Possibly
theaters,
for forever.
2020 movies are done. Like the Oscars are just going to be Academy Award nominees Spencer Confidential.
Or the Impractical Jokers movie is going to win an Oscar for best comedy.
Okay, that happened.
Man, I can't believe Bloodshot's gonna win Best Original Score.
I still haven't rented that movie yet or bought it wherever the fuck. I don't know. I'll probably get it just to say
I'm
I
waiting till
watched
it's
it.
free.
Yeah.
It looks really bad.
The thing with the movies, do you think Marvel is just going to push everything to Disney Plus since they have that whole, what is it, every 6 months?
I'm hoping the situation gets better because they'll probably, depending on what happens when we get to the fall, they'll probably keep Eternals in theaters.
Well,
I don't know about Black Widow.
Oh, Black Widow's gonna be pushed to VOD. I can see that.
Absolutely not.
There's no way. They would lose way too much money on that.
I think they'll all hit theaters at some point. The only one I'm kind of curious about is New Mutants because
it got pushed back so many times. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Hulu.
But like
put it on Hulu.
But like, okay, so here's the thing about like New Mutants, because I think that the reason, because I've talked about it on here, that I think the reason why they're putting it to theaters, because they easily could have put it on VOD months ago, is like, I think that there's something in that movie that basically like sets it up as being part of the Marvel U in some way.
There was a rumor of that for a while.
And I think that's the only conceivable reason I would think that they would still have it in theaters. Because even if the movie was good, they could still just put it on VOD and then just like, spread word of mouth that way. But I think there's like something about it that they want to have kept in theaters.
Well, it's also like that's the movie where they literally spent no money on it. Like they inherited that movie. Like, and it was made at this point, 3 years ago fully? It was supposed to come out and was made like
clock hours, man. Yeah, it's been out. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think the other ones are too expensive. Like they would take too much of a hit with 3 movies between like the 2 Marvel movies and Mulan.
Yeah, and I think
I feel like Mulan's going for more the international market than the US market.
Like Black Widow is going to be like, a close to $1 billion movie, and maybe also Eternals. Like I think like there's way more upside about keeping those movies into theaters. Like Mulan, though, like I don't know about that.
But that they spent so much money.
There's a lot of controversy behind that one.
That movie has such a high budget behind it, and I do not think that movie is going to like.
Well, I don't think it'll do well here. I think it'll do well overseas.
Yes.
Like honestly, it might be like one of those things where they just like hold it off and like they put it out in June, or like if it's still like a clear schedule and people are like so fucking starved for content that they just go to theaters and watch whatever's in the theaters.
Well, they could have a. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say if they're allowed to go to the theaters by June.
Well, but whenever like they start letting people back outside.
In China, they were talking about like opening the theaters soon, so they may come out more sooner than that.
I would say you have to take anything coming out of China with like.
Well, I know that.
Giant grain of salt.
Well,
that's the same as saying.
But I think we all know what's the most important movie of 2020. Artemis Fowl, clearly.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say it's not even like our China. It's like our president wants us all be outside by the first, and it's like
you guys are insane. Your country's insane.
I was like, dude, read the room. Of course.
Yeah, well, that's because there's an election in November, so he's worried about the economy tanking, which it tanked already. It's done.
It was funny. Like as soon as he said, "Hey, let's be open by Easter," the doctor behind him, he was like, "Yeah, no." Like, he's like, "No, you can't do that. Doesn't make any sense."
Yeah, and then I think we got after we did last week was Wonder Woman got pushed back indefinitely as well, right?
No, to August.
August. Okay, they actually gave a date. Which I think
Batman's date.
Yeah, Batman's.
Scoob got pushed back indefinitely, which was
unfortunate.
That's upsetting because
mean-
that movie looked like a cool, fun time.
Yeah,
That I
I
could see dropping on a streaming service though, like kids movies. I feel like they'd make a killing right now.
I think there's like also just too much into that movie because like Scoob is supposed to be like the jumping point for like a lot of the other Hanna-Barbera stuff.
Oh
Like,
wow.
Like Blue Falcon is like a major part of that movie. Like Dick Dastardly is the villain for that
Tracy
movie.
Morgan's supposed to show up as Captain Caveman, I guess.
Yeah, Captain Caveman's supposed to be in that movie.
Wait, what?
What? That's
Really?
insane.
This is like CGI animated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mark Wahlberg is Blue Falcon, and it's like
That's kind
It's
of great
just Mark-
casting.
well, it's just Mark Wahlberg going, "Hey, I'm Mark Wahlberg. I'm doing a superhero role."
Oh,
Who's Dynamite?
Yeah, Dynamite. Oh my god,
Ken
the cars
Jeong.
the
Ken
cars are
Jeong.
changing into robots.
Evidently there was like a new trailer with Dick Dastardly where Scoob says his name wrong, and it's very funny.
My friends call me Dick. Rick, Dick.
He's like, Dick. And you're like, yeah, this movie knows what it's going for.
Is he the head of the Olympic Committee?
Oh,
I mean, like,
speaking
I'm
of,
kind
that's-
of
that's
hoping if
postponed too.
I'm kind of hoping if they bring in Dick Dastardly, that means that we get like the rest of Wacky Races, and it's like if we can get like a really cool Wacky Races movie, that would be so
awesome.
fun.
Man, I just
Yeah.
want a Johnny Quest cameo, or Johnny Quest to step out of the shadows, and be like, "I want to talk to you about the Hanna-Barbera initiative."
Yeah.
Oh God.
Basically, if you want Johnny Quest stuff, you gotta watch like old Venture Bros.
Oh, I know.
Venture Bros is so
I
good.
think the only thing I'm still mad about is that they didn't get Matthew Lillard back as Shaggy. That's just me.
That's the biggest
Yeah,
disappointment for me.
and Will Forte is like not a bad Shaggy. He's
He's
like
not Matthew Lillard.
he's yeah, which is like kind of funny because like Matthew Lillard like I don't know. I think it's just like kind of funny that it's like Matthew Lillard at one point was like, "Oh, that guy's replacing like Casey Kasem. Like, how dare they?" And then like Matthew Lillard became so beloved within that role.
Oh well, because he's talked about that he was literally born to play like everyone's like, oh, you got to play Scooby.
I think
Hey,
I think it's
Jason
like,
Isaacs is playing Dick Dastardly.
Yeah.
That is like overcasting, kind of.
I-
Amazing.
yeah, I think it's like a little bit more sad that Frank Welker is not voicing Fred since
Yeah,
Frank Welker has,
it's Zac Efron.
which is like fine, but like Frank Welker is like always voiced like
But he's doing Scooby.
Yeah.
Well,
but
they
I'm
could have just
saying,
got
if
Freddie
you can get
Prinze for
Frank-
Fred.
If you can get Frank Welker back as Scooby, because that's iconic in itself, there shouldn't
Yeah.
be any problem getting Matthew Lillard back as Shaggy. That's the only part of the movie that still bugs me.
Oh,
Like Zac Efron as Fred is fine, Amanda Seyfried as Daphne's fine, Gina Rodriguez as Velma's fine.
I think that they're trying to separate themselves from those James Gunn movies. Wait,
Yeah,
have you
which is
seen this
probably
like
fair.
image of Blue Falcon?
What he looks like in the movie, yeah.
Oh, this is like awesome. I feel like he kind of looks like if you remove it's like the Dini-verse Batman face, kind of, but like with like Superman chin.
he's Batman with like a hawk helmet on.
Yeah, but he's happy.
But yeah, I like the character designs for this movie. I think
Oh,
everyone's-
Dynamite looks awesome. Who is?
Like, did you
There's
see like
one
the super
character.
serious poster where they had them all standing at attention and Scoob just looks like a total idiot? Hang on, let me put it in the chat.
Who is this other character that's above Dynamite with a little robot?
So I think it's one of Dick Dastardly's robots because they were in the first trailer.
She
Oh,
so
the-
like
the
I'm
girl,
looking at the
okay.
wiki, and she's like a character from like the Captain Caveman TV show.
Is it
uh,
Dee Dee
Ca-
Sykes?
Captain Caveman
Yes.
and the Teen Angels. Like what a weird like them to like kind of pick up a character and just like bring her back for like a thing. Like that's super
I'm just
fun.
saying, I'll be really
my
happy
God,
if
these-
Jabberjaw shows up.
These like designs are awesome for like Captain Caveman for Blue Falcon.
Right?
Wow. Holy crap. I don't know any of these people, but they do.
No,
look
it's
really
a
Yeah,
cool.
because
solid,
you're-
solid animation budget that I'm really mad that we're not going to be able to see for the immediate future. I think who was the studio that did it? It's
Oh,
okay. It's
man,
Warner Animation and Hanna-Barbera.
Dynamite looks like awesome. Like I can't even describe how awesome Dynamite looks.
Yeah, it's it's
Oh,
been
dude,
like
Junkie XL does the music. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, he's
interrupt
going
you
to do
there.
the music for this one.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
it's been like I feel like kind of quite a long time since we've had it's
A
like
proper Scooby-Doo movie.
well, I'm not proper Scooby Doo because I think like Scooby Doo has always been kind of like a pretty strong brand because like we had Mystery Incorporated about a decade ago that was just like killing it. But like other than that, it's like as a brand, it's been kind of mired in a lot of ways. Like they tried doing Flintstone reboots for a while that just never really got off the ground. They tried doing the Jetsons for like the last like 15 years, and that movie's never got off the ground. Like
I feel like because the Jetsons,
countless Johnny Quest stuff.
The Jetsons doesn't make any sense now because
before anyone continues, the animation studio who's doing the Scoob did the animation for the Book of Life, which is perfect for me.
Yeah, that movie's good.
But I get why Scooby-Doo is always going to work. Like it always makes sense. It's kind of timeless, and everybody knows those characters. And I think the voice acting is good too. Like it's so famous that they're like so many people have done those voices. But like Flintstones, it's I guess of them, Flintstones makes the next most sense, but like Jetsons makes no sense. It's like retro future.
Well, I think Robert Rodriguez was supposed to do a Jetsons movie. Years ago.
I think you could do like a really cool take on modern day future tech that for like the Jetsons, but it's like I guess it's like what's the what's the thing that moves the Jetsons plot forward?
Yeah, because that show is like kind of about like he has a dead end job with a shitty boss, and then his daughter's an airhead, and his son is like just dicks around with stuff.
It was the Flintstones in the future. It was basically what it was.
Yeah, it was just the Flintstones. And the Flintstones were just the Jetsons. Doesn't make them bad, but like, they were kind of the same.
That, like, life a billion years in the past is the same as a billion years in the future.
That's
well, to be fair, the Jetsons were the year it took place. What was it, like 2000? Like 2000.
I think they did like a crossover, and you learned.
Oh, they did. They did a seven.
You learned that the Flintstones are just what lives underneath, like the Sky City of the Jetsons. But I think they're contemporaneous.
That's not canon. We don't talk about
that. I kind of didn't hate that special. I mean, I'll take that over the Jetsons actual animated movie with a budget.
Well, the live action with the live action Flintstones.
See, Johnny Quest sounds interesting,
I'll take
but
the first one.
I feel like it would just turn out like, what was that movie you just said that I don't care about anymore? That's also a Disney movie.
Artemis Fowl?
Yeah, I feel like Johnny Quest would kind of turn into that.
Disney's next Aragon situation, you mean? Yeah, I agree.
Did you guys grow up on that book?
I did.
Which book was it?
Yeah, Artemis Fowl. Like, I just know that the comic...
Yes, I did.
I know the comic sells really well. Like, the comic adaptations sold super well when I was working at a shop. But, like, that trailer came out, and I didn't watch it. I just, like, kind of read the comments on Reddit, and everyone was just like, what a disaster! Like,
here's why.
It's
I
like
remember...
they're like, why is he surfing? What is this?
It looks like a bad like Spy Kids movie, like a higher budget, but without the tongue-in-cheekness of Spy Kids.
So here's the thing: I was a kid when that book came out. That was like one of those books that was like always at the book fair. Everyone knew of it. They promoted the crap out of it, and so at some point, you read it. Like you just like, okay, yeah, I read it. It's fine. This movie looks like Disney this looks as bad as like Aragon or The Percy Jackson in terms of an adaptation.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because both this book series and Aragon is an amazing book series. But
they are. But here's the problem they have with this Artemis Fowl movie. The first thing they do, he's not a cold-hearted criminal mastermind.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that's the thing you need to nail with him is that he's an asshole and he's just there to steal stuff.
That first major thing wrong, you're done. What point do you have in making your movie at this point?
I haven't even watched the trailer. I'm going to watch it right now.
To put a young kid in a very fancy suit,
yeah,
shitty gadgets. It's like Baby Men in Black.
They could have just made another Spy Kids.
The whole point was he was the criminal mastermind, not Colin Farrell as his dad. That was never a thing in the books. That trailer bugged the crap out of me. I was so angry.
Wow, this looks bad. Like animation wise, there are points where it's like this is not good.
Oh no, it has like really bad like
CG.
Cheesy. It looks like similar style to like.
They got the Irish right. They're Irish at least.
The girl leprechaun he meets is like, oh yeah, we're best friends from day one. I'm like, no, you're fucking not.
No, they hated each other for a long time.
He literally kidnaps her in the first book.
Yeah, because he was going to make money off of her.
Yes.
God damn it!
Like
this is so bad.
Oh, God.
It looks like they're trying to do Harry Potter with this, but it just looks
No, they're trying to do like what everyone did after Harry Potter came out, which is let's find the next like big Harry Potter and
let's
make
find
that
another
into a
kids
movie.
show. It's like when the Hunger Games blew up and everybody had to make like a teen movie.
Yeah, like when Harry Potter came
movie.
out, you had orphans doing clever things. Like you had the Lemony Snicket movies, you had Aragon, you had Seeker, you had this and that, and yada yada.
I want to say this movie's been in development for like a super long time, and so maybe it's just like one of. And so maybe it's just like one of those things where Disney's just like sank so much money into it that they're just like, you know what,
just ship it.
Just put it out. Like either like we make it now or we never make it, but like we've already sunk so much money into it, just put it out.
This has been in development since 2001. Oh. It's been in development hell until 2011, and then
it says they bought the movie rights before the first book came out. Disney,
because it was a pretty big book.
Well, Miramax got them, and then Walt Disney Pictures announced that they were doing it in 2013.
Yeah,
they just parked on the rights to the movie. I guess that makes sense.
But like, I want to say this movie was supposed to also come out like a year ago. Like,
I thought it was already out. To be honest,
yeah, no, it was supposed to come out like a year ago, and then they kept pushing it back, probably because it fucking sucks.
Yeah, well,
yeah, it's supposed to come out August of last year, and then got pushed
so many times.
Yikes. But it's like they pushed it from May 2019 to May 2020. So it's like, why would you? It's like, okay, if they were like, this is not a summer movie, we gotta push it back to like February or January, like a month we can just dump this in and make some money. I just don't understand, like, unless there was like some big production problem or like reshoots that they had to do, like why would you move it a year to the date?
I think I'm just also this cast is boggling my mind.
I knew like one besides Colin Farrell. I think I knew like one other person. Oh, and
Josh Dench. Dude, this is directed by Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah.
Like what?
Why?
What is he doing?
Wait, are you telling me that Wild Wild West is
I was going to say, like, the guy who signed on to do Wild Wild West in a wheelchair.
Look, I have not seen Wild Wild West in over 15 years. I cannot remember that movie.
That's shit on Netflix.
The guy who saw Battlefield Earth and decided, I want to use that camera angle for Thor.
Wait, did he do Thor?
Yes, he also directed Thor.
You know, that first Thor movie was like kind of not bad for the time it came out, but it's still kind of not. It is like a movie that's
He's
kind of
also
like
done
a lot of its luster.
The Jack Ryan reboot before John Krasinski took over with Chris Pine. Kenneth Branagh did the Cinderella remake,
the one that everyone forgets exists.
Yes,
Jack Ryan movie.
Because it's like because it was like, oh hey, is Chris Pine like a movie star? And then we were like, oh. Kind of not.
Kind of.
And I forgot he also did Cinderella for Disney, the remake.
He did Murder on the Orient Express.
And the sequel coming out.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
No, it's coming out
this year. I see it right now. Death of the Nile. Well, tentatively coming out this year.
Is Murder on the Orient Express good?
It's if you like a mystery, it's a solid mystery.
It's a good mystery movie.
I go to my mom because she's the biggest Agatha Christie fan I know. I'm like, did you like this movie? She's like, yep. I'm like, all right, it's good.
Yep, it's like some old time white people dandy shit where it's like, oh, the greatest detective of all time.
Man,
he solves capers, and there's a single murderer.
Is that a box quote, by the way? This is some white ass dandy shit.
I hope so.
Well, that's the title for this episode.
I cannot have any more pie. You'll simply murder me.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Artemis Fowl poster and I hate the tagline. I hate the tagline so much. It's just Artemis Fowl, remember the name. Fuck off.
Oh, okay. The one I see, it says "Time to Believe."
Oh my god. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
I'm literally looking at this. I'm just getting like Aragon and Percy Jackson war flashbacks flashing through me. That makes me angrier.
But I think the difference is this is like sci-fi, so it's like even worse looking. Like it looks like Spy Kids and MLB had like, or not MIB, Black had like a really shitty child.
Yeah, 100%. It's got like that overproduced animation effect.
It's funny because this might be the worst Judi Dench movie in the last calendar year.
Oh,
I don't know. That's a hard when she's not when her hands.
I have to see Cats and judge that for myself.
Because I would much rather see Cats 1,000 times over than watch this Artemis Fowl movie.
Yeah, this looks so bad.
Well, I feel like you could.
By the way, are we still planning on doing like a watch party for cats?
Yes, I hope so.
We should.
I still haven't seen it.
Can we have a drinking game?
Wait. Can we have a commentary track?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah.
We'll sync it up.
All right, we're gonna have to schedule this after this.
Because so we have to do like a watch party, and then afterwards we have to also talk about which Jellicle cat we are.
Oh, I understand.
I think I saw somewhere.
What furry are you inside? There was talks of a joke going around about like the butthole edition where they showed the cats like behind.
like when those CGI making the cats more anatomically correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're going over that, then we have to have Hunter join this because we had a joke on the last big episode where we talked about our quarantine recommendations with Beastars, and we basically made fun of the fact that Hunter was a closeted furry, quote unquote.
Okay.
Was this last episode with the
That's why there's all these pictures from Beastars and gifs in there.
Gotcha.
Which, by the way, has everyone else seen Beastars?
I've seen the first 2 episodes.
It's next. It's next on my list.
It's good. I like it.
Sorry, I'm looking to see if I can rent cats from the PlayStation store yet.
I just managed to finish watching Castlevania, and now I have to wait for another.
Amazing.
Okay. Here's the question.
I know.
Do I want to drop $20 to buy?
No, you don't.
Not right now.
You might as well just buy some cat food and just toss it out your window.
We'll find something. Don't you worry.
You can just buy kitty litter and make a kitty litter angel on the floor.
Honestly,
just paint yourself as a cat.
Same effect at the end of the day.
They don't even give you the option to rent. It's just buy right now. No, thank you.
Hell yeah. You want to buy cats? They need to recoup that money, dude.
They can make cats too. Cats and Friends.
You know what? I'm looking at these pictures.
I'll rent 1917 and Superman Red Sun before that happens. Thank you.
I actually just read Red Sun.
Oh, Red Sun, the book is awesome.
I just read the movie.
I don't want to watch the movie. I genuinely don't.
Just looking at the Judi Dench thing, these elves, they look like they're green versions of the characters in the Santa Claus elves.
Yeah.
They have snow goggles and shit, but they're
is this Artemis Fowl?
Yes, they're Green Lantern versions of them.
God.
We're spending too long talking about it, but at the same time, just the right amount.
Yeah, because again, when they said Holly, it's I'm Holly, I'm your elf on the surface or the ground. I'm fuck off. Just fuck off. That's not how that works.
Hey man, they gotta make some creative decisions so that they can, I don't know, maybe get some
movie has a budget of $125 million. This is not gonna
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Is it gonna break? I guess it's kind of hard now.
No, this is going to make $1 billion overseas. I'm calling it now. It's going to make an insane amount of money overseas.
That means we're going to get more, and I'm going to be upset.
Yeah, we're going to get more. We're going to get a lot of these.
I think this is Disney's write-off for the year.
What movie?
Still Artemis Fowl.
We're never going to not talk about it, apparently.
One of us is going to see it at this point and just be like, well, I saw it. Don't fucking watch it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm done.
It when I watched the trailer, it reminded me of what is that movie called with the Peculiar Children with Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh, Peregrine, Miss Peregrine.
Peregrine, yeah, Miss Peregrine.
Oh yeah, the X-Men copy.
Yeah, the X-Men.
Yeah.
Well, that was a teenage book, wasn't it? Like a tween book?
But it was still an X-Men copy. It's legitimately just they lifted the X-Men.
How Hunger Games is a ripoff of what
do you call it? A battle royale.
Battle royale.
Yeah. It's just more white people stealing from other places.
There's only white people in her universe, except for that one colony.
Yeah, except for that one place. We don't talk about that place.
That's the black place.
Oh, God.
We call those Shadowlands. Yeah.
All right,
That's why none of them had style in that movie. They were all just... Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Oh, Lenny Kravitz was there, too.
Well, he had style. They beat him down. They killed him.
And wait, what was this?
In Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Oh yeah, that's right. He wasn't there.
Oh my god, I'm just looking at
Donald
these screens
Sutherland
now.
just showed up collecting a paycheck.
Well, that's exactly what Judi Dench is doing in Artemis Fowl. She's just collecting that paycheck.
Isn't that what she just does?
I don't know, man. I feel like Judi Dench is at a point in her career where she's just cool. I'll
take
be
the paycheck.
I'll be a cat.
At the Dave Bautista area, where he's like, I'll just be in anything.
Well, he hasn't made as much money as her. Although I would hope that someone could petition the Queen to take away her.
Why do you call him Bautista?
Batista is
Batista.
Batista.
Are they saying
I'm Canadian? Dude.
Are they saying boo or bootista?
We're saying bootista, apparently. Look, man, I don't have much of an accent, but apparently I have it for one specific word, and it's Batista.
Oh no, it comes out. We just don't comment on it.
Ah, damn it.
There was like a while. There was like a while when he came back to wrestling. He was wearing like blue trunks, so people were calling him Blue Tista.
Nice.
Oh man. Well, I don't know. There's not much else going on.
Listen. The world's kind of crappy right now.
The world's dead right now.
We'll do a story next week, maybe.
Well, if there's stories, we do them.
Ben.
Yeah. I mean,
who wants to do like a quick check?
But we
do
can
we
talk
want to do
about
like a quick fun one-off. I was gonna ask if we could do Scooby Apocalypse before Scoob came out, but that's not happening anymore.
That's a good book.
I didn't like it. I dropped it pretty quick.
I hated the redesigns for Velma like a lot.
Not to mention what they did to Scrappy. He looks.
Oh god! No wait, no one told me what happens. I'm not there yet. I haven't.
Oh okay, so I will not post a picture of their version of Scrappy.
Please don't. I kind of do want to read the story eventually.
We'll pick a book. Maybe we'll pick. I don't know. We'll decide. I don't know. Is there anything else we want to talk about? I didn't realize, Connor, you said that you worked in before you joined John. Siler, Connor, you worked at a GameStop, you said?
Yeah, I worked there for a year.
Yes.
So when people like, especially the last 2 weeks, where GameStop is just acting like they've got their fists down their throat.
Well, they're like dead now. I think Pennsylvania revoked their business license.
Yeah, California.
They shut them down.
Yeah. Which is like, as somebody who worked on the inside, it makes total sense why they're doing this. Like, they were struggling when I was there, and I took full advantage of that, and a lot of people at my job also took advantage of that. Like, the manager really gave a shit about the store and the concept of being like, oh, I'm an EB Games employee, I gotta treat this with respect. And then the rest of us were like 20, so we were just having fun and like getting games for a cheap price. So when it came to like, oh, you have to really push hardware, like you really have to bug people and like force sales on them, and like, oh, you need to sell 5 cards a day, and you need to sell 3 used games, and you need to sell 10.
Wow, your numbers are really low. Like for your requirements.
Oh no. I'm just trying to like ballpark off the top of my head. But like it was like 10 pre-orders a day, 5 card sales, 10 biogenics, which is like the in-house like controller stuff. And then like you want to get used games coming in, so you could like turn it around, and EB Games makes money off of that.
So what I think you missed that on for being in Canada is like, Ryan, you remember when we got the credit cards?
Oh man, no, that's not
the GameStop credit cards, and they were basically all used like with fake IDs, because it's not like we could do anything to like check it. I'm just like a guy at GameStop. It's like, oh, and it was like immediate like credit check. So it's like, oh, you've been approved for $2,000. So they just buy $2,000 worth of crap. It's like, I don't care, helps my sales. I'm like, go ahead, go crazy, guy.
Yeah,
like, I can't do
whatever you
nothing
want.
about it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is like people would steal from our store, and they'd be like, "Why aren't you stopping it?" Well, I don't care. Like if they
also
take credit cards, go.
They freak out where they like don't want you doing anything. Like I remember.
Oh, dude, I got when I finally decided to quit. I was moving out here to Vancouver for the first time. And when I quit, they were like, "Oh, hey, if you need any references, put me down. And if you're going to work out in Vancouver and you need a job, apply to EB Games and use me as a reference." So I thought, fuck, awesome. So I get out to Vancouver, I get settled, and I start looking for a job. And I go to EB Games because I got a recommendation. I throw my resume in, and they revoke it almost immediately. And they say, yeah, we don't do rehires. We don't even want to think about that. We only hire new people. Because I've been there for a year. I knew how to use the system and abuse the system. They don't want that. And then when I called the manager, he wouldn't even pick up my phone. He just kept
yeah, and that's why businesses fail, by the way.
Yeah,
that's why major businesses fail all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's also like they have one of the worst corporate structures. But I was just trying to remember, like, because the store me and Ryan worked at got robbed.
I saw that video, which
yes, that's not even.
I got some crazy stories, but I never had anything.
Oh,
like that.
That's not even like a real robbery, because
it's so casual.
I got like the system back. Like we locked like I was working with a Breon, which is the other guy. I had him lock the door because it was obviously something was going down.
Ryan is the one with dreads. If you were wanting to know
I didn't know who was who.
Yeah, so this guy tries to rob Ryan. How tall are you? Like 6'2"?
Yeah, I'm like 6'2", like 270.
And Breon's like 5'10", but like built like a kind of brick shit house.
Nice. Yeah, his kid's like, by the way, Lou, his like son's like a potential draft for like the NFL right now.
Yeah. Oh, I know his like his one cousin played on the Magic, like in the NBA, and then like a kid that he was a coach of in high school got drafted to the Nets a couple years ago.
Yeah, he's a big sports dude as well. So like the guy like tried to rob us was like he's like a
I love that where he just like runs out
guy
to the door.
Yeah,
and it's locked.
Yeah, there were 2 other times though where like they waited till the only person that worked there was the one female employee, Tori, which they didn't know she's like a black belt in Taekwondo, but you're not allowed to do anything. So she was just like, But the assistant at the time, because he lived in Pennsylvania, it was like right on the border of Delaware, Pennsylvania. He's kind of crazy, and he literally ran out the door, chased the guy down for a mile.
Oh wow! Yeah,
but once he jumped over a fence, he could not get him.
Yeah,
and then they would just give us like a random security guard for a day.
Nice. Yeah, no,
that's not gonna do anything.
With no gun or anything, just like a guy.
We were all working. It was during Christmas one time, or the only time I worked there for Christmas, and we had Rock Band for sale. Like we had the big kit out in the middle of the store, and it'd been there for like 3 weeks. Nobody did anything, and then one day a woman comes by with like a big shopping cart, and she just starts putting all that shit in, and we're like, "Oh, you're gonna buy this, so we'll just let you go." And then like we stop paying attention. We're dealing with customers, and we just see her walk out with the whole Rock Band kit, and like she just leaves, and we're like, "What happened?" So we nicknamed her the Rock Bandit.
Nice.
Yeah, and then she eventually got banned and charged or something like that.
Yeah,
See, I was in a movie theater. I just dealt with not people who stole like popcorn and shit, but just idiots.
Oh, dude, I get that.
People use GameStop as a way to like launder stolen goods all the time.
Yeah,
like there are people that I would know that would come and it's like, oh, these guys are the guys that have the really nice brand new controllers.
Yeah, like how many times did you have to like deal with some of the dirtiest discs on the planet?
And
then when you finally get through all the systems and you're like, okay, that'll be $200 in in-store credit. They're like, oh, what do you mean no cash? We're like, yeah, we don't do cash. What the
because you're in Canada. In the States we do cash, but it's like $200 store credit.
Oh, really?
Or like $100 cash. And they're like, what the fuck?
Okay, yeah, we don't do any cash back. It's all in-store credit.
There was this Indian couple that came in to drop off like a Wii, and it was like covered in curry, and like there was this other couple that like not to be racist, like curry. It was
would you call it a tandoor Wii?
Probably.
Oh god!
Oh my god! Oh, that's so
there was
good. Thank you.
I'll be here all week.
There was another couple that brought in like a PlayStation, like a PS3, and like there was roaches inside of it, and I had to tell them no, and then they got super offended.
At the time and started playing The Last of Us. They just got really into it.
There were so many times I would open game cases and there'd just be like bad weed broken up inside.
Oh yeah, dude, it's the greatest rolling tray. It's like it's perfect. It doesn't let anything spill except for the middles.
Oh man, but there was like so much like bad. Like people do like terrible things. I had to deal with the cops a bunch of times from like meth heads selling like their siblings, stealing like their siblings 3DS and selling it for cash.
Yeah, that's always a good one.
Mm-hmm.
See, my favorite thing I'd always do when I worked in a movie theater was anytime I got a chance to mess with people as an usher.
Oh yeah.
Good God, did I take it? Like there was one time I went to go clean the theater, and I just look up and I see this like couple making out in the corner, and I still have to clean, right? So did anyone here sing Game Grumps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the part where he starts singing loudly all around the world, just in some random bits?
Yeah.
I've just done that. I just start singing All Around the World by Sugar Ray.
If you ever want to get out of a situation quickly there and somebody's like, oh, where do you find the toilets or whatever? You just got to say, oh, sorry, I just work here, and then walk away. That's what I've been doing for about 3 years now, anytime I don't want to deal with somebody, and it works perfectly because it gives you enough time to be like, wait, what? And then you're gone.
I've been called an asshole at GameStop so many times. Like, it was only solely me because, like, my personality and the way I come off and talk to people directly.
Yeah, 100%. I totally relate.
Oh yeah,
remember,
you would get bad reviews.
Deadpool, when the first Deadpool movie came out, right? We'd have to be the ones checking the IDs like at the theater, like there'd be an extra layer of security for kids sneaking in. And I remember I had one group of kids. This one kid and his group of friends came up and they were like, "All right, rock paper scissors. If we win, you let us in. You don't tell anybody." And I just started laughing in their face.
Oh, you should have done it. I would have let them go.
Oh, I would have done it and then also told them to go fuck off. But that was my favorite thing at GameStop was like kids trying to buy games like, no, I need to see your ID.
Yep. What do you mean I can't buy Assassin's Creed? Like you're
being too nice. It's all Grand Theft Auto.
What do you mean I can't
buy
Modern Warfare 2?
I would always do that where it's like they come in with their parents and be like, oh, their mom would be like, I'm getting my kid GTA 5. And I'm like, okay, this is like ultra violent. There's sex, drugs, weed, and everything. And they're like, oh, well, my kid sees so much worse than that. I'm like, don't brag. Don't brag.
Yeah, we saw that like all the time when I work at a comic store where like I remember like one instance where a parent was buying Crossed for their kid. Like, is anyone here familiar with Crossed?
Mm-hmm. I read everything. I read all of it, and I am now disturbed.
Yeah, and I'm just like, hey, this isn't like really like appropriate for kids. Like, and it's like super hyper
violent. What's it called? Crossed.
It's set in like basically like an apocalypse happens where people get these scabby crosses on their face, and it makes them like basically do like their darkest desires, which ends up being like
fucking I've seen that.
Raping people.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't it open with like a dude fucking a dolphin?
It has
there's
a
different
part
books.
Where there's a character named Horsecock because he's like a big dumb guy who beats people to death with a horsecock.
Okay, well that's original.
And so this woman was just like, oh yeah, like he sees bad stuff all the time. It'll be fine. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yep.
It's like I'm like whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, it's funny because like I worked at like several jobs throughout my life, and I never caught a shoplifter until I worked at my current book job.
Really?
Yeah, it was at AX. Someone tried stealing one of our standees, and I like saw them walking out the door. And I like asked like two employees. I was like, "Hey, did anyone like get the okay for taking that standee?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, and I basically like ran after them. But since it's AX, it's very crowded, so you could see the standee like going through the crowd. And they're not going very fast, and so like I get up to him and I grab him on his like shoulder, and he's like, "Hey, don't touch me." I'm like, "Hey, did you get the okay to take that standee?" He's like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I thought." I'm like, and so basically I just like grabbed him and his two friends, and like I didn't even have to grab his two friends; they just followed them. And so basically, like I had like his backpack, and I had him like held onto it, and he's like, don't hold me. And I'm like, hey man, like get back to our, and it's like I basically had to like pull him back to our booth, and like him and his friends were banned from AX for the rest of their lives, and we got a standee back, and it was pretty cool.
That's great, man. I'm glad to hear that justice was served for once, because usually when I hear like shoplifting stuff like that, it's just dude got away.
When you said you grabbed him by the collar, I thought you were going to say, "Hey, punk."
I love my favorite reason would be like when parents would get mad at me and yell at me about ratings. I'm like, look, I don't make up the rules. You want to yell at someone? Go yell at the Motion Picture Association of America.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do with it.
I have enough problems with the MPAA. You can voice mine too if you.
Yeah, really.
Oh shit! You don't want some like hot COVID news that's in the wrestling world?
Yeah, let's do it, man. What's up?
Evidently Roman Reigns is out of WrestleMania 36 because he's in isolation.
Oh Jesus, man!
Oh, and he has like really
Vince
bad.
Got it, and I thought it would have been a happy day because the devil.
Didn't he just beat leukemia or something?
Yeah, he had
like the second
last year.
Oh Jesus! Well, best of luck to him, man.
Yeah, well,
didn't Orlando cancel it?
They so badly want this show to happen, like to the point that they're doing a 2 days. They are filming a bunch of shit right now, and they're just going to piecemeal this show together, and like.
Well, Vince's idea is there's no other sports. We could be the only sports. We're sports entertainment.
Until he gets XLF or going or whatever.
It's like the hubris is so bad, and it's like he's going to get like all of his people sick. And it's like, and Roman Reigns is like a guy who's like, if he gets COVID, like he's the kind of guy that is just, former leukemia patient. It'll just like hit him like a ton of bricks, and I just don't understand why why you would like still try to continue down this road.
Because money. Because they already canceled the XFL, so he lost.
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah,
XFL got postponed for the rest of the year.
I think it only lasts like 3 weeks, maybe 4.
I didn't even know it started.
Oh, it started like 2 weeks after the Super Bowl.
And I'll be honest, it's kind of entertaining.
Well, I don't do sports, so I'll have to take your word for that.
Have you guys ever seen the? Did you guys see the clip where Stone Cold Steve Austin came back for Monday Night Raw, and he just played to an empty like?
Yeah, I saw that. It was sad.
It was so goddamn funny. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
I was
Apparently we said 2 different things.
No, when he's just like, "Can I get a hell yeah?" One guy in the background just like, "Hell yeah!"
Well, participation is key in these sort of things.
And he just looked up. He's like, "God damn it, why am I here?" He's just all like look of this sadness across his face.
And the answer is he's been divorced twice and has to pay a shitload of alimony.
Are you telling me a wrestler is divorced multiple times?
Oh, are you talking about like why Stone Cold was on that Monday?
Yeah.
Why he does anything with them anymore at this point?
I mean, like Stone Cold still does stuff with them, but like the whole entire idea was that they were building that up for like about a month, and it was because it was March 16th. It was like 316 day, Austin 316.
Okay.
So they're gonna do like this big celebration for it. But like, yeah, like that whole segment is like really funny because it's like an Eric Andre sketch.
It is like
but like
it'd be
it's
awesome if
funny
he came in with like a thing that said like COVID 316.
Oh,
but
dude!
It's like really fun because like that first SmackDown, that first Raw, post isolation was like kind of really funny because like the SmackDown show had Triple H on commentary and he was just like shitting on the whole show and it was like kind of really entertaining. And then Raw had like the whole entire like thing with Austin and it kind of felt like, oh, like Vince isn't here and this is why the show is kind of so weird. But then like all the shows afterwards have just been so boring. I'm like, oh hey, he's back.
Yep, he got out of his isolation, or he got a TV, like a live feed, put into his isolation chamber.
Well, I guess everybody's got their own thing. His is watching his own television show from the comfort of isolation.
Well, he's a very notorious like clean freak, like germaphobe.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Yes. He has rules about how to eat the candy in his office and stuff like that.
Wild.
Oh, God.
A man of principle, I see.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Have anybody been reading anything we haven't talked about before? Or you've read Red Sun. Do you want to talk about it?
I did read Red Sun, and
Yeah,
it was
what was your
good.
thoughts
I
on
liked
it?
it.
I'm curious, because that's my favorite Elseworld story, I think.
I would absolutely agree. So far, like, it takes the character of Superman and reinterprets it in very fun and interesting ways. Especially with like the reinterpretation of all of the classic like Golden and Silver Age characters, but in I would say like a more modern take on it. It's I don't know. Like I really like the dynamic of like Lex Luthor still being he's a good guy, but he's doing the wrong things to get the good things done. I think that's a very interesting idea.
I mean,
is a better Mark Millar story than what we've read on this show in the past.
Yes, hands down.
But that idea of Lex is kind of what is Lex at his best. Yeah,
and I think that's to a degree what inspired the Lex of Injustice, or at least to me, that's what it seems like.
But I mean, I think that's Lex Luthor, like at his core, is like he's a guy who could do so much good for the world, but it's like he sees Superman as like being like this invader, like to the point that he can't even like get over himself. And
that was the what was that, All-Star Superman? That was like the ending, wasn't it?
Yeah,
of that movie. He, like after he gained Superman's power, he was like, I wasted all this time, and then Superman's basically like he had done so much, and then
Superman wins technically, but at the same time, he also comes to the realization that he is the biggest loser.
Oh, in Red Sun?
Yeah.
Oh, I would actually say Lex wins.
Lex does win. Like he does win. Like literally.
I think that
ending was so cool.
That was the way that kind of went full circle.
Dude, that was like a chef's kiss.
I like how they do where Superman basically does like what Brad Pitt's character does in Mastermind.
Yeah.
I was like, that works.
Yeah, it just, it works. Superman technically dies. Clark Kent comes back. And then you also get, I don't know,
I'm looking at that Red Sun movie. The cast is pretty cool. Like Jason Isaacs is Superman, and Diedrich Bader is Lex Luthor.
Oh, that's interesting because he's done Batman so many times.
Exactly, that's why. And I think Roger Craig Smith is Batman from Arkham Origins.
Oh, cool.
Did anyone happen to see the trailer for the next bit of DLC for the new Marvel Alliance game?
The one that came out today.
About to bring it up. I was about to bring that up.
Who's the guy that they have voicing Doctor Doom? Because it's the same voice as he does a ton of voice acting. But off the top of my head, he does the neutrals from Futurama.
I'm literally looking right now.
He's like, I don't
if you
care.
See my wife.
Tell
her hello.
Yeah, the new story campaign is God Doom. So that's really interesting.
That's cool.
With the bringing in the Fantastic Four for this one.
I do like God Doom.
I have to pick up. I have to actually.
I think it dropped today. Actually, they had Nintendo Direct Mini or whatever.
Yeah, and they dropped some cool stuff in that.
Yeah, because they added the Fantastic Four to it.
Yeah, I'll find the trailer for it and then I'll throw it in the thing. But yeah, the voice actor is who I usually equate for being nerdy characters or nerd dwells or kind of stuck up characters.
Wait, whoa!
And so
Sorry.
hearing that voice come from Doctor Doom was just very this is the direction we went. I'm okay, cool.
Sorry, I was just looking to see who else was in here. They had Johnny Young Bosch as Danny Rand in that game. That's kind of dope, actually.
Interesting.
Okay. Someone else just posted in the thing.
Well, I know.
I just found it, and now I'm watching it.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh! I found out who voiced him.
Who?
It's Maurice LaMarche.
Oh wait!
Yeah.
From Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it.
That's it.
What a weird choice for them to pick for Doctor Doom.
Wow.
They're
Maurice
really trying to break the mold.
That's the last person I would have expected.
Wow. I mean, it's not what I would my go-to for a Doom voice to be, but he's it's Maurice LaMarche. He's not bad.
No, he's not. But I agree with you. I wouldn't that.
I wouldn't have expected that. I would have expected literally anybody else. No offense, but
I actually really like the designs. I just hate this pose that they gave for Mr. Fantastic. It's really bothering me. Where he has his stretchy arms, so his arms are both crossed and at his hips simultaneously. So he's.
Is this game good?
Do you like 4-person beat 'em ups?
It's like Diablo, but with Marvel characters.
Yeah.
I've never played Diablo.
But
I'd be more willing to play a Diablo game if it had Marvel characters.
Less Diablo, more Gauntlet.
Yeah, Gauntlet's probably better. It's you can have combo moves with them, but it's very.
There is special limits. There are small RPG.
It does get repetitive for me after a while.
I couldn't.
It's very grindy. You have to grind to get everything in the game.
I love JRPGs because they at least give you something back as you grind. This not so much in my.
I would prefer if this game looked and played more like the second one.
Oh, see, I don't like the second one as much.
The second one had a better view. It wasn't that much of a top down, but it was more of a distance third person.
I found it too close. You couldn't see the entire battlefield at times.
I think you can play with the vision in the game though.
Maybe. I guess I just didn't dig deep enough.
I stopped at level 2 and I haven't even hopped on since. I have a backlog of so much stuff.
Oh, dude, I'm tearing through Doom right now.
Yeah, no, I just beat Doom.
Doom's next. I'm on Neo 2 right now.
You ripping and tearing through Doom?
I ripped
until
and
it's
tore.
done. Until it's done.
It was done when I finished it. It's a long game. It took me about 20
hours. So I'm probably
gonna
do Doom and then Hellblade's next for me.
Ooh, Hellblade's amazing. That is definitely a game everybody should play.
By the time I finish Neo 2, then I'll get Doom, and Final Fantasy and Resident Evil will be out by then. So.
Resident Evil comes out next week.
Oh, crap! I'm falling behind. I gotta catch up.
I feel I'm in such a different track because I have not wanted to touch or watch anything kind of dark. So I platinumed Lego DC Villains.
Hell yeah!
And all the DLC, which was really good, and the cast was really good in it.
No, totally fair. I just did that with Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It's an amazing game.
Yeah, and I played right before that. I did the Telltale Batman, the first season, and it was my first Telltale game. But I played other games like that, and It was fine. Like the story was.
I thought it was really not that.
Lou, you got to play The Last of Us. Now that game's an emotional like.
That one, I don't know,
think,
man.
I don't think the gameplay of that game is so good.
I think it's I have this argument a lot. I think the game is brilliant. I think the story is amazing, and I think the game itself is really cool. I don't think it's fun to play. It is very stressful and over.
It's definitely not fun. No, it's an emotional gut punch.
Yeah, I think from playing that game, I'm like, I don't really know if I like these type of games because I feel like too passive and it's not as interactive as I want a game to be.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I could just watch this entire thing as like all the cut scenes together as like a film, and I'd be just as fine.
Yeah, there's nothing you gain from like playing it. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And it seemed like I know that there are things that have like the choices matter, quote unquote, but like it didn't really feel like it that much.
Totally fair. Yeah.
The next game I am playing coming up that's new, I cannot wait for Last of Us. I know there's a whole everything's kind of going to hell in a handbasket.
We talked about it before, or before we started podcasting. But yeah, you should be fine. I don't think you need to worry too much. Well, actually, with America the way it is right now, I think you might actually worry a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a healthy amount.
I'm pretty excited to play Resident Evil 3 remake.
Yeah, me too.
That
and Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, and I'm not a Final Fantasy guy at all. But I played that demo, and the demo was
sick.
How was it? I didn't play it.
It was good.
I played the demo at PAX, and I thought it was like a lot of fun.
Nice.
I don't necessarily know if that game is what Final Fantasy fans want, but like as a non-fan, like it made me kind of interested.
It looks gorgeous.
I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. The voice acting is good. I'm a little sad, and I guess it's just like this era of gaming that like the way the combat is.
Yeah,
I kind of, and I know like it just wouldn't work today because most people just wouldn't get the fun of it. But I was like, I really wish this was still turn-based. Like,
really,
there is a fun of turn-based.
No. Like I said earlier, Persona 5 The Royal comes out next week as well. That's also going to be an amazing one, and that is the first game in a long time that made me think, okay, turn-based combat is still worth my time.
You will have to send me that game because I really want the name
100%.
Yeah, I mean Persona 5 was great.
It's one of the best.
And I'm not saying
RPGs.
And I'm not saying the gameplay change is like what makes me want to get into Final Fantasy 7. Like Final Fantasy 7, I tried playing on a couple different times, and I don't have the nostalgia for Final Fantasy 7 as the way a lot of other people do. So I tried playing a couple times. It just looks like a really ugly game to me, and I just couldn't get into it.
It's really old.
It is. No, even like standard wise, like when I played it, I was like, oh, this doesn't look that good.
Like if you look at 7 compared to 8, and they came out on the same console, like
no, did they? I thought 8 came out on PS2.
No, 8 came out on
PS1. I like 9, and I thought 9, and I tried.
And 9 also came out on PS1.
And I tried playing 9 around the same time I played 7, and I thought 9 looked like... And 9 comes out, like, years later. But, like, also 9 has an art style, like, I'm, like, way more into. And I think it's, like, the aesthetic of the polygons of what they're trying to do for that.
Well, 9 went back to all the Final Fantasy before 7, what they were, which was the steampunk. 7 was the departure from the steampunk into, like, the dystopian kind of techno stuff that and 8 had, and then that they went kind of, and then 10 is like 10 is the one where they jumped to PS2.
And 10 sucks. I hate 10.
I hate 10.
Hey man, when I got the PlayStation 2, my aunt, she got me 10 too, and let me tell you, I fucking hate 10 too.
I love 10 too.
Dude, I love
10 2 seems like such a massive piss take, and I love it.
I played.
That's exactly what it is.
I played 10 and I beat it in a weekend, and I was like, "Fuck this game!" I hated it so much.
Because I thought the costume, the
lederhosen.
No, I thought the costume, like, power ups in X2 was like way more fun than the sphere grid.
Oh, the sphere grid could go fuck itself.
And like, and 10-2 also, and 10 has like Blitzball, and that sucks because like Waka and Lulu are the only two characters I like in that game, and like you have to play Blitzball to level up Waka, and it's like that game sucks. Like it's and I play that game a couple different times because like I would get to certain points in that game where like I couldn't beat a boss, but I couldn't go back, and I got really mad about it. And people are like, "Well, don't you have multiple save files?" I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Well, why did you play an RPG without having multiple files?" I'm like, "Look, man, this ain't my first JRPG. I played Skies of Arcadia, both Grandias. Like, I never had to have multiple
I would love
save."
the Skies of Arcadia remake.
God, you man,
Look,
that's
wow.
I don't know. I would love it so badly.
I'm looking at the dates for these Final Fantasy games, man. They pumped out 4 of them in like 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what's weird? I'm not Final Fantasy
Because they
guy,
had
but
different directors and different teams.
I'm not a Final Fantasy guy, but I liked Tactics Advance, and I liked Crystal Chronicles.
Tactics is
Advance. Yeah, that's a great game.
I never played Advance. I actually, me and a friend played through the Tactics last year, and it was phenomenal. A bit broken in areas, but very good.
I tried playing through Tactics, and because I love Disgaea, and Tactics just came off very dry to me, and I was like, and Disgaea is just kind of like it's super cartoony and comedic based, and I'm like, oh, this is like kind of like more my speed.
Yeah, no, Tactics is very dry, and it expects you to get into the PS1 level realism.
And then Crystal Chronicles, I am excited for that remaster. I'll be curious when that comes out.
Dude, Xenoblade Chronicles. That's like, you want another
May
turn-based strategy game? May 29th. There you go. Collector's edition comes with a double LP that looks gorgeous on like black, red, and white.
Some point.
I would 100% suggest it.
No, is it just like an HD or is it like a remaster?
It's a full remaster. Like,
so like Final Fantasy VII?
Kind of. They remastered a lot of the textures. No, thankfully they don't have new voice actors.
Oh, they don't? Okay.
No, because the voice acting is so cheesy in Xenoblade because they outsourced it to a Australian VO company. And it's just like a bunch of like unknown Aussies for most of it. And it's great.
So it's just going to have the same gameplay style though?
It'll have the same gameplay to a degree. It has been polished up. They polished up a lot of menus and fighting animations and like downtime. There was a lot of downtime in like the Wii version, but in the Wii U version, or the 3DS version, I should say, they took a lot of that out and they just streamlined it a bit. And then it looks like in this one, they took out all the stuff that was just boring, and they keep it very centered on like, hey, you want to fight, you want a story, you want like RPG elements, here you go. No, like,
there was a lot of stuff Nintendo dropped today. They announced that
Burnout Paradise,
Borderlands and BioShock are coming to Switch.
I saw that trailer for Burnout, and I'm like, this looks like Burnout 3.
Yeah.
Like, it does not look very optimized on the Switch.
Which is surprising.
Jedi Academy came out.
That's kind of
that's one of my favorite of those.
Do you want to know the even better news? Episode 1 Racer's coming sometime this year.
Yeah, they haven't announced a date yet. But yeah, Pod Racing's back. Now that's Pod Racing.
Yeah, that's already on like PlayStation. I have that. We got that for free.
And listen, they announced ARMS as a fighter for Smash Brothers.
Stay away from Catherine. Atlas has been, or at least the dev team behind Catherine, doing some real fucky shit recently, and just don't bother with that for a while.
They announced ARMS as a Smash fighter, and I am quite happy about that.
Yeah, no, I'm hyped for that.
Isn't he a support assist?
No, like actual character.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's a trophy in Smash, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
But like, I didn't like the game of ARMS, but I really like the world of ARMS.
Yeah.
And so like, I think like it's nice that Nintendo is giving this like a second look. Because I thought the character designs for that game were super cool, and the world of ARMS looked really neat. I think it'll be like kind of fun to see which ARMS character they choose. Because I
think they're gonna just do multiple skins like Hero.
I think they're just gonna do Twintelli.
Yeah, she's kind of the box art. Well, the other guy is, but she's the one I see everywhere on the internet.
Because she's got that booty.
She thick, dog.
She quite thick.
Yeah, actually, like, ARMS is free this weekend.
Yeah, I really like Min Min. Like, I think Min Min's like a really cool looking character.
She's the cutest one.
And I really like the clown one. She's cute. I like the Tronbon character.
He's what's the giant like blob guy? He's also really good.
Like Connor said, it is free on Nintendo Switch Online members this week.
Yes, go play it. We're all quarantined, so you might as well try something new.
What was the name of the game again? Sorry.
ARMS.
Not legs. Yeah, caps.
I see these. They're blind bags. That's where they get you.
Oh, what,
Sorry,
the Final Fantasy figures?
Yeah, they're all blind
look,
bags.
oh, fuck that.
Dude,
they look
I want them
cool.
so bad.
They look so cool.
They
They're
look
like
so sick.
They're like 3D printed, like PVC, like polygonal figures.
Yeah,
and they look awesome.
You can buy a whole box for $63. So
but you're not guaranteed to get them all, are you?
Doesn't say here. It just says you get. It does show all of them on the box art. Like, it shows all 8 of the figures that they made. But they don't show like the packaging or the boxing or anything like that. So yeah, please note item selection is random blind packaging. We cannot accept requests for specific items, nor can we accept returns on unopened items. You may receive duplicates. So yeah, there is a chance that you could just get 5 Sephiroths or like a Sid.
I was gonna say, if there's gonna be any chase figure, it's Sephiroth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they already show that he's in it. So
yeah, there's Sephiroth, Tifa. Yeah, you know what? If you ever get the chance, go see Distant Worlds live. They're an amazing band, and hearing that song live made me cry.
You know who's not in these pictures that bothers me?
Who?
Wait, what game is this? Refresh me one more time. Sorry.
Yeah.
Katsith.
Oh,
he would be the chase.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, almost immediately. That's series 2 of these.
I'm surprised they haven't done some stupid, like, Final Fantasy Warriors shit or whatever.
They did.
They did.
They did.
Yeah, Dissidia.
Yeah. My not my roommate, but one of my best friends has like 1,000+ hours in it.
Oh my god, wait. I was kidding. They made like a Dynasty Warriors Final Fantasy.
They made 3 of them.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, Dissidia is like a fighting game, but like, yeah, Dissidia has like all the Final Fantasy characters in it.
The newest one has up to 15.
Ooh.
Only 15? They're missing out on some of the good ones. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. There's not enough characters in 15 to justify a whole fighting game.
Well, they have it for free, but they also have like the pay to play one, so you can download the free core game with like 2 characters unlocked.
You're thinking of 14. 15 is like a traditional Final Fantasy game.
Yes. 15
I thought you guys were talking about
Dissidia.
Oh no, sorry, I was talking about. Yeah, it is on Game Pass. If you have an Xbox, go play Final Fantasy 15. It's not about the journey. I loved every character in that series, even the villains. Like, Arden is one of my favorite characters in like Final Fantasy. But yeah, that's Final Fantasy.
That's Final Fantasy.
Hey man, that's free real estate.
That's Final Fantasy for real. It's the last one this time. We're not kidding anymore.
I would riot.
I mean, like, that was like kind of a joke about like Final Fantasy. It was like supposed to be like the big swan song for that
Square.
that dev, and then Final Fantasy like got super big and kind of saved the company.
Oh, hold on. There's a great video that shows the
and then they made a
evolution of it.
movie, and it's kind of boring.
They made 2 movies, and
the second one was a lot better.
I'm talking about Spirits Within. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you didn't watch Kingsguard?
No, I haven't seen Kingsglaive, and I've seen Advent Children. Advent
3.
Children's fine.
I was just talking about Avengers.
Oh, right. There are 3. I'm dumb.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one that was in theaters, and not Kingsglaive. I'm talking about the first one.
Yeah, just watch this video if you want to know how Final Fantasy was created. It's a very short 3 minutes.
Oh, I've heard of this video.
Yeah, but you don't know this video. That's the key. Watch it on your own time. It's not very important, but it is very good, and everybody should watch Mega 64.
I don't know. Is there anything else that we wanted to talk about? I don't know if we want to I kind of wanted to talk about what this all means to the comic industry, but I don't really want to talk about something like down like that.
Yeah, we just had like a great 30 minutes where we talked about video games, and I'm feeling happy. Let's keep it that way. Next week we can come back to being sad.
I'm hoping to also like have a bunch of stuff like read by next week. So
yeah, I read all the new Marvel books that came out. They're pretty cool. I'm trying to
get to my store.
Well, yeah, my store is closed, but the only one I could think that like I thought was at all any interesting is like the Fantastic Four X-Men book had like really big implications. We're like, what's gonna happen? But I also have no idea when this book exists compared to like the Marauders book. So it's kind of a confusing canon.
I think it's like obvious that it takes place between.
It's like 2 of the issues, I think, right?
So it obviously takes place where Kitty is doing a thing, and it obviously takes place before she does another thing.
Yes. So yeah.
I will say, actually, really quickly, did you hear about what Patty Jenkins said about Thor 2?
No.
Yeah, she basically reflects on dodging the bullet. She's like, "I'm so glad I didn't do that movie because that script was horrible."
I mean,
we saw the movie.
And it's debatably the worst Marvel movie.
I would say it is the worst. It's not even a debate.
What is close to it?
I think Iron Man 2 really bad.
Not as bad. Iron Man 2 at least has some stuff in there that's interesting. Thor 2 is nothing.
Iron Man 2 has Sam Rockwell and first appearance of Black Widow, and I think that's.
What about Iron Man 3?
But Black Widow in that movie is not really Black Widow that we see later.
No, but still, Sam Rockwell in that movie is.
I want my bird.
My bird.
Give me my bird. I would like my bird.
There was what was it? DC News, was it Punchline finally meets Harley Quinn and they duke it out? That was.
Oh my god! Does anyone give a shit about Punchline, or is it just people who like want to make a buck on a comic care about Punchline?
Who the hell is Punchline?
It's the new Joker starter.
Sorry, what?
No, I thought it was his girlfriend.
I thought it was his girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, she like took Harley Quinn's spot.
I cared so little I did not even read past the fact that she
they fought for like the first time when they met, and she like slit Harley Quinn's throat.
Oh, rad.
Because they're edgy.
Yeah, man. Hell
is she in a Black Label book, or is she like in a regular book?
She's in the current Batman book, like the James Tynion one.
Oh, I'm not reading that book, so.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge James Tynion fan.
I dropped it because I was like, after The King, I read the first issue of his run, and I was like, nope, I'm out.
No, thank you.
Not for me.
I will say I will probably exercise my Hoopla subscription a little more to kind of go with some other comics that are out at the moment.
Speaking of game news, the Predator game beta comes out this weekend, as well as Resident Evil Resistance for this weekend.
Yeah. So there's at least something to try.
There's a DC book I read.
I saw that game being played at PAX, the Predator game, and that game looked in very rough shape.
Yeah, every trailer they've had, it looks very, very.
Because the idea, it's the same idea as the Jason game, and was it Evolution? Was the first one of those? That was console, where it's like 4-on-1.
Yeah, like the isometric multiplayer thing. So like there's Evolve, Dead by Daylight, Jason, or Friday the 13th, Left 4 Dead. Well, yeah, I guess Left 4 Dead. I always forget that one.
Yeah, Valve also forgot about that one.
Yeah, well, that's because they're chronically free.
The better one of those games was, what was it, Batman Arkham Origins, the multiplayer they had, where there was like the two teams.
Oh, I remember that.
It was
really good.
Team.
Yeah, there was a weird
Joker
thing in the
and
early 10s where every single player game needed multiplayer, and I just can't stand that.
That game for Arkham Origins was really good. It was
the way
there
you
was
talk
two
about
teams.
It seems pretty cool.
Oh, it was. It was two teams. One team was Joker's team, and the other one was Bane. And like random people would be selected to be Batman and Robin. And so yeah, it was really fun. And then they got rid of it. It's tragic.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, because there was
what was that Gotham game that was like
Gotham City
Imposters?
Gotham City
Imposters.
That was really good.
Oh my god!
Boom. Gotcha. That one, dude, I haven't thought about that in years.
That game came out, and that was amazing.
Speaking of video games, has anyone gotten the chance to dive back into the world of Half-Life?
No, because I don't have $1,300 right now.
Is it only on PC?
It's only on PC.
It's only on PC.
VR.
Yeah. No joke, I'm in the middle of watching a playthrough by Danny O'Dwyer, who does a very, very excellent job of talking about it. He's a big Valve nerd, so he knows the history, he knows the studio, he knows the tech behind it. And like it looks phenomenal. It looks like the perfect VR game. It's just it's unfortunate that it's behind a $14
Hey man, the perfect VR game is Beat Saber. You're telling me it's better than Beat Saber?
I have another tab open of just a dude playing Beat right now. Because I love Beat Saber.
I had a PSVR for like
You were a robot for a second there, Frank.
Yeah,
what did you say?
That was Ryan. I had a PSVR for like a month, and I played it once.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I played at work all the time. It's great.
But just to jump back real quick before we continue with the games, like I read the final issue of the Sean Murphy book, The White Knight, The Curse of the White Knight. I really like how he ended the book, and it opens it up for them to do more stuff in a very interesting way.
Cool.
Yeah.
I should where was it? I think what they were going to do, they said they were, speaking of Half-Life Alyx, they said they haven't made any decisions, but they said with this game, this was their reintroduction into this world.
Okay, sure.
So, Half-Life 3 confirmed, kids.
I'll believe it when I see something more.
It's like, I don't know, man. It's just like, I feel like when was Left 4 Dead 2? No, Portal 2 was the last Valve game.
Yes.
Right?
Well, technically, Dota 2 was. That came out in 2012, something like that.
Regardless,
the last real Valve game was Portal 2. You were correct.
Which I mean was like, whoa, that was also like 2012, right?
No, dude, it was earlier. I thought it was like 2010.
Whatever, man. Like, what I'm saying is, it's been an awful long time since Valve has put out any kind of like game, and I just don't understand what that company is now. Like, sure, Half-Life Alyx is probably a very good game, but it's like, are they like? I feel like at this point, most customers like know Valve as a store shop. And it's like, what's the like? I feel like there used to be a very good identity of what Valve is, and I don't know what the identity of Valve is now.
I think they're with Alyx. They're trying to get back into what Half-Life 2 was, where it is like we're pushing the bounds of what a video game can be. We're gonna put
because what I'm hearing from Alyx is that it is the first VR game that is like so essential to the technology of VR.
I just watch the first half an hour of it, and there are 7 different things that you can be like, on. You can do that?
So is Valve basically saying that they're just a VR company now?
Technically all they've worked on game-wise for the last 5 or 6 years, VR tech demos, and Alyx in this case. Besides like small like updates to Dota or Team Fortress 2 or something like that.
VR is like fine and all, but like at the end of the day, it's like, it's like there's a high barrier of entry for people to get into VR, and you have to have like the helmet and the controllers and all that shit,
and the computer to run it,
and it's like that's not going to be for everyone. And like, and if they feel completely comfortable in making a game that really like only like the amount of people who own VR headsets like are able to play this game, like that's completely up to them. But like, I feel like as person who's never going to adopt VR because it's too expensive for me, it's like it'd be nice if they were to also just like, hey, here's also Left 4 Dead 3. Go have some fun, you kids.
Yeah,
or,
it would have been nice.
It doesn't even have to be Left 4 Dead 3. It could just be like whatever game that they want to make for like a general audience.
Apparently, I'm looking here for their VR. They tried experimenting with Portal in VR, but it got way.
Have you guys ever used VR before?
I was gonna say
yes.
Portal VR sounds like vomit. Like
they
actually, the first tech demos were of Portal to a degree. You were in a fixed position and you were just kind of wandering around, or not wandering, but like touching things in aperture, where you could just like talk to GLaDOS and move around with Peabody and Atlas and everything. Interesting. But if you've played anything like No Man's Sky or Dangerous, it's very weird. Like the sensation of falling. I'm pretty good with VR. It'll make you sick. It will always make you feel sick because your eyes and your brain sees you're falling, but your body doesn't. And it just, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like if you're flying a spaceship in VR, you look up and you start spinning. It's the most disorienting feeling on the planet.
Yeah, like I went over to a friend's house like years ago and I played Super Hot, and I thought that was like really fun in VR.
But like Super Hot and Beat Saber and like these games where they're fixed position, interacting with the world around it, that's where the game shines, and that's where Alyx tries to bridge the gap. It is both a locomotive game and a sit still and touch the things around you. They just paid a lot of attention to things around you, where you can quite literally touch everything and mess with everything, open the doors, break the windows with your hands, or throw things out with. It's just you do what you think you could do, and that's kind of what they are. They are walling themselves off, obviously, being like, oh, you can only play this game if you play, like, given the $800 to get into the VR like ecosystem, then you can go on and play Alyx, which is another $60 game. In Canada, it's $90. So it is like, it's very like glass ceiling, but at the same time, it's pushing the genre and the technology in the proper direction. At least I hope so. I would really like to see, because Alyx has now set a bar that others have to somehow manage. And I really hope this elevates the genre to like a greater field and more acceptable. So
not even
there's
the
not
genre,
70,000.
just the technology in general.
Yeah, absolutely. It's revolutionary. It's so many great things, but right now we're only utilizing it to throw head crabs through windows. But the fact that you can do that is interesting in and of itself. Okay, I've said my piece.
All right.
I think that silence is a perfect
I think on that
opportunity.
Yeah. So yeah, we can close out and plugs anybody. Just
I'll go. Follow me on on Twitter, JamScott193. Please keep an eye out for the upcoming Phantom Zone episode where the rest of the guys, we talk about our quarantine recommendations. It is quite possibly one of the funniest episodes I've ever been a part of. So please keep an eye out for that.
That's good.
I'm honestly kind of sad that you didn't invite me on to talk about Beastars.
Oh, it just came up to the other. It was like I think there was 6 of us. It was like, oh, what are you talking about? Hunter just brought it up.
Oh yeah,
and then
no. I'm also just like half joking. It's fine.
Yeah, but I remember, I think when he brought it up and then we showed pictures, one of our other guys, Eric, just saw it and was like, oh no. And then that's where the jokes came from there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can find me at John, JOHN_FN_Seiler, SEILER, where I talk about comics, movies, games, my work shit. Basically living a life of quarantine now. So, it's been pretty fun. But we announced a new book today. I really like it. I did the write-up for it, so you know where if you go to my Twitter, you know where I work, and you know where to find it, so.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I guess I'll go next. You can find me at maybe Connor. Oh no, Question Connor, and then on Instagram I'm maybe Connor. And then if you want to go play your local NHL game, please support EA. We're truly struggling through these hard times. That was a joke. We're fine.
So don't forget to check out all the other shows and leave 5 stars, tell a friend, stay safe, wash your fucking hands.
Wash your goddamn
wash
hands.
your hands.
Stay inside.
Wash your goddamn hands and stay indoors.
Okay, so wash your hands. It's a given. But also people are like, don't touch your face. And I'm like, do people also just not wash their face? Because when I wash my hands, I also wash my face.
No, it's about how you don't it's about how you don't wash your hands enough and then you touch your face. And all those germs go right into your nose and mouth and eyes. Yeah, it's not about your face being dirty. It's about still your hands are dirty.
Also, guys, just stay the fucking doors. If you need to go out, go on walks if it's nice or whatever. Or if you need to go shopping unless it's necessary. But if you don't have to go out, please don't go out.
Yeah, I've been inside for 13 months now. I'm going insane, but you got to do what you got to do.
Have you
left my house.
not been outside for 14 days?
I went for a walk, and I've gone to the grocery store in the last. That's about it.
We're waking up early so we can get to the grocery store when it opens.
Well, dude, I went to the grocery store at 1:00 today, and it was barren. It was empty. Yeah. I grabbed what I could, and then I got out.
The shelves were barren, or there was no
barren.
People?
No, there were a lot of people there. Definitely more than 50. But
okay. It's really it's funny what you find to be it's like all the processed foods are gone. But then it's oh hey, all the fruits and vegetables and fresh food are still here.
Yeah, so I was able to grab a bunch of veg, and so good, I'm healthy. Or I should say that, I'm alive. But yeah, no, stay inside, keep your shit tight. Yeah. It sucks, we're going to be in this situation for a while, too.
I haven't shaved. I haven't shaved since the lockdown orders are on.
He's already getting his duster and boots ready. He's ready for the apocalypse.
And I'm also it's funny because I never used to be able to grow out anything, so I've always shaved, and now I haven't shaved for maybe about 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh hey, this is actually coming in pretty nice. I'm like, am I really gonna do this?
Yes.
Am I really gonna grow this out until the lockdown's over? Mm-hmm. And I have my coronavirus beard.
Yes, everybody needs to have their coronavirus beard. For me, it's just going to be a mustache. I can't grow anything else. But regardless, I'm there in spirit.
Yeah. I just can't wait to see you. I don't the amount of children who are born 9 months from now.
Oh, dude, constantly.
Dude, babies are getting made.
Corona boomers.
Corona babies.
Generation C.
Yeah.
Generation C.
Yep. All right. Well, we're out. We'll catch you guys next time.
I love you.
Yeah, pledge to my Patreon for the new Corona Babies series.
So I guess I'll join the Krackle.